Have you ever had a preconceived idea of what a movie was about just from the title alone? This is what happened here, and I am wrong in putting off seeing this because this movie is a wonderful discovery. This is a film called Big Eden that came out in 2000. It's about a gay man who's an artist living in New York City, and he suddenly has to go back home after a family emergency. And while he's there, his past catches up with him. So the title of this movie had me thinking it was some kind of religious thing because of maybe like the Garden of Eden, and I didn't want to deal with some kind of religious trauma movie, but man, was I wrong. This is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It's a type of movie that you don't see that they make nowadays, in the sense that it has this grand epicness of those, romantic comedies. It's really a character-driven piece, and it's not so much about like high concept, but more concept is driven by the characters first and the story second. I remember the discussion when that film Bros came out with Billy Eichner about how there wasn't good gay romantic comedies, and look at this movie. This movie is a great example of that came out over 20 years now ago. This film does have excellent production value. I love indie films with a scrappy do-it-yourself quality, but there is something super accessible that this film has to it in the production quality. This movie is under this facade, this veneer of a type of movie that you feel like you're above the material looking down on it. Not at all. This movie is very much eye level, and it does a lot of subversion in your expectations in a lot of subtle different ways. And one of the best examples of this, and not giving a lot away, there's a character from his past, a woman that's his friend, and she's trying to set him up on a date with a woman. And you know exactly where this is going to go, but it just doesn't go that way. And another good example are the town folk in the community. And this film does have a lot of that camaraderie feeling, like the community is behind the main story, similar to what happened in like Apartment Zero, which is another great gay film. It has that feeling like everyone's on board. And obviously, I'm stereotyping, but when you see the type of people here, you know that they're going to probably be against a gay love story happening, but they're not. That guy's looking a little light in the loafers. That's okay with me! And it's just strange. It's kind of like this bizarre world where the homophobia doesn't really exist. It was great to see that, especially from a film that came out in the year 2000. Well, one thing was interesting about the main character and the way that he's written and the way that he's performed is that throughout the film until the very end, I felt like I wasn't getting enough, and I was wondering why this character was so bottled up. But slowly, as the movie moves on, it totally makes sense, and you do get a payoff near the end where things conclude in a way that makes sense why this character was acting the way that he was. In a lot of ways, it made me feel like how much of our fears are what we bring to the table versus what's actually happening to us. A lot of his fears are stuff that he has to overcome himself, not so much the community imposing these things on him. It's just his preconceived idea of what he thinks people are going to think of him. It is not a tragedy in a lot of ways. It is very uplifting, and it's not a film that's gonna redefine every movie you've ever watched, but it is incredibly ahead of its time for being a film that just decides to set up things in a way that you feel like, oh, I know where this is going, and then it completely just goes, no, we're not doing that typical cliche. It's just a good time. And if there's anything that I've learned from making these videos is that I shouldn't judge a movie based on its title and definitely not its poster.